Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in Geistal, Austria. So we are in the last part of May and I have missed something very important and I want to show you what that is. Here in the animal tabs we can see that one animal was removed at 21st of April this year because of an accident. So I guess my father took care of that, or maybe my mother, because I wasn't aware of any animals going away. But yeah, it looks like we are down one cow. And so while we're here, I'm gonna check if it was any of the younglings or maybe a bull. Hopefully it wasn't any of the cows that are bringing in the milk. Let's see real quick. Okay, so we have 4 calves here. This is alright. Yeah, it was one of the bulls. And it was the better one. Shoot. Okay, that means that the milk producing cows are still here. But we gotta have a look at getting another bull, because we have to have at least 2, I think. Now this is if we would want to get the straw for assisted breeding. Over here, yeah, let's go have a look at our bulls. Yeah. Ooh, look at that, we have Hannah. 52 months old, okay, so she's still good for at least a few years. Okay, let's get that. And how are you doing? Average, high, average. She's already pregnant. Alright, let's get this cow delivered. And this is why we need to keep raking in money. Because otherwise we wouldn't be able to afford any new animals on the farm, you know. And this is why we're doing what I promised the previous episode. We're gonna take the biggest tractor we have. It's gonna be the Steyr. And we're going down to the store. Now I have ordered 2 things. One thing is fairly big. I think it's 32,000 liter capacity. So it's basically double the capacity of what we have at the moment. Loading wagon. And I'm gonna buy a front weight for a tractor because we only have a 400 kilo one, which is not enough for the size of the machines we are using currently. It used to be good when we only had the Fent and some smaller things, but yeah, not good anymore. So I'll see you down at the shop. And then we're coming back. Whoa. Thankfully it was just a tire to the wall. How about we don't destroy the tractor today? Does that sound reasonable? Yeah, I think the Steyr is gonna handle that trailer fairly well. And we have to make a few trips. And I also have to check where are we delivering the hay before we go down to the shop. Let's do that first. Why don't we? I have basically checked the prices and they are €1 difference if we go to one or to the other. So one possibility would be to take grass to the animal dealer as we've done before, and the other one would be that we take it to the biogas plant And as I said, it's €1 difference per 1,000 tons, per 1,000 liters. And that's simply negligible. So I'm gonna do the selling at the animal dealers again. First off, it's closer, and second off, it's, I don't know, it just kind of feels right, you know, to take animal fodder to, well, technically we could take it to the biogas plant, but no. Animal dealer it is. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, so the lease cost us 2,045 euros for the trailer, and we bought a 1,000 kilo weight. It's a Terry Winkle, I think, that was on sale. So it's a used one, it's a bit roughed up, but I don't really care about that too much because it's a weight, you know, it's a hunk of metal. And its purpose is to keep the front wheels on the ground. Should be quite an easy purpose to do for a weight. Yeah, I think this fits the tractor really nicely. And this is a Mengele Rotan 783, I think. This one has, I think, 31,000 liter capacity or something around that size, and I hope I can get it under the chute at the top of the farm. But look at this beauty. Even the style looks dwarfed next to it. So now we definitely have to put some beacons on, so we don't become a road hazard. And when we come down to return the trailer, I think I'm gonna refuel the tractor. We are still a bit more than halfway full, so should be pretty good. What a beast. But thinking about the use on the farm for actual farm work, this trailer would be much too big, I think. Because we have to be nimble, we have to be able to make sharp turns and turn in, well, reverse, or so to speak. Yeah, reverse. In a tight place, so yeah, I don't think this is the best choice for the farm here. Maybe for the flatlands, for the people who are not living in the Dorf, in the hills. Soon the moment of truth is coming. Is this gonna fit under the chute? Well, under the chute it should. Just adjusting my camera. But the problem is, will it fit into the doorway? It looks like it's just about to gonna fit. Yeah. The idea is maybe next time I just drive straight through. Because I can do that. And if that's possible, that's gonna be the best choice, best course of action, I think. Because reversing in here, you see the doorway is tall, but it's fairly narrow for a machine like this. I thought the beacons were off. So we should have quite a bit of money laying here in terms of dry alfalfa and dry clover. Okay. So tight. But it looks like we're kinda in. Yes, we are. Okay, the tire actually caught on the doorway. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. Oh yeah, there's plenty of space on that side. Take the cover off. And now you see that it's actually much too big of equipment to actually have in here. But the good news is we can load it straight out of the pipe. Perfect. Perfect. And considering this is dried stuff, it doesn't really weigh that much. So it doesn't put too much stress on the tractor. Okay, now you can start putting some estimates in how much we're gonna earn. I think the price is $93 per cubic meter. So that just means it's 31 times 93 per trailer. Whatever that number is. I can't do it from the top of my head. Yeah. I don't know if you had the experience in primary school when teachers said you have to learn how to calculate without the calculator. You won't have it with you all the time. Well, technically we do have our calculators with us all the time on our phones. So that was a lie. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how much the thinking has changed, because you know, in quote-unquote the old days, you had to memorize everything because you couldn't have information on hand, literally. You had to know it from the top of your head. But now the most important thing is that you know how to find the information. So all the information is really available by a few clicks. For example, I had to fix something in the bathroom in the main house, and I needed to cut some plexiglass. So yeah, of course, I bought some plexiglass, and I was like, now what's the best way to cut this to size? And I opened up the internet, wrote in how to cut plexiglass, and I got a bunch of videos explaining how to do it with different tools and how to do it with your DIY project when you don't have certain specialized tools for cutting plexiglass. You know, it was just like, here you go. And of course I tried it, and I only failed once, but that was because I was rushing too much. This trailer is actually surprisingly maneuverable, because I think it has steering axles. They follow the tractor quite nicely. Well, by now we know where the dump point is for hay products or grass products. It's around the back. Okay, I gotta be very, very careful so I don't hit the trailer on the roof. I think that's close enough, because I'm not sure how tall or how high up it opens. Oh, it doesn't open very tall. Yeah, I could have reversed a bit more. But let's see how much we get from one trailer. The money isn't going up extremely fast. Okay, we got 3,100 and a bit. But it's gonna be a few grand. We're gonna pay off that cow that we bought. We're gonna pay off the leasing cost of the trailer. And we're gonna earn some money. Because I think we got about 4, maybe 5 loads of material ready. And as I said, I'm gonna keep probably a trailer worth of grass in the barn just in case we need it. Maybe the cows that are staying in the barn need it, maybe the cows in the pasture are gonna need it. No, it seems like a good thing to have on hand. So if something happens, we don't have to go out and buy fodder. That's the worst. Having so much material and then you have to buy it because you made a miscalculation, you know. Unacceptable. Okay, do I try to do a run through? Well, I guess I can try. But I gotta be very, very careful. And since the trailer is turning, I also gotta account for that. No sudden moves. Hey, we actually fit. Alright, so we got at least 2 loads here, and I think we have about 80,000 liters in the dry alpha department. So that's 2 loads in there. So I'm guessing we're good. Okay, let's try and safely maneuver through. At the very last second turn. Nope, I scraped it. Shoot. Hope this isn't gonna be too expensive. Yeah, because you see the tires are turning and it swung out the rear. And there are some scrapes here. Oh well. I hope they have the trailer insured. So I guess this isn't the correct approach. After all, I couldn't go any more forward. The only thing I could do is hug the right wall a bit more, but I don't think it would accommodate the tail swing. Probably gonna have to pay a bit of extra for the insurance claim. How the French would say, merde. Right, I think I'm coming to the last loading session, and I have found a way that I can drive through the barn like this. The key is not to get too close to the fence, because of the tail swing, but the trailer follows us nicely in here. Look at this, like a glove. So yeah, I've been thinking it might be time to upgrade our setup. Okay, so we got 49,000 liters. We're gonna take 31 down, so we're gonna be left with 18,000. And we are left with 21,000, almost 22 of dry clover, so that's plenty of reserve. In any case, yeah, I have been thinking of actually upgrading our loading wagon, because we have one axled one, pretty tiny thing. It only holds 16,000 liters, so we have to make a lot of trips to bring all that dry material up. Or for example, if it's wet, we bring it to the store here and to dry it off. So I'm not so sure I want to keep the small one, because I have found out that we can actually use a bigger setup here. Let's wait for that truck, because we're gonna be slow road. Yeah, I don't know. On the other hand, we are up to 48,481 euros. So we have basically added around 10,000 to our bank account. And we're gonna add another, I think, 2,000. I'd rather not think, because I forgot how much we get per load. I think it's around 2 grand, just a bit over. And I gotta say, this tractor really is a champ. he panicked. Maybe it was he. Anyway, the driver panicked. Halt! I'm inside. Yeah, I was panicked too if a machine like this started hurtling towards me. It's no joke. Okay, let's say we brought in around 12 grand by selling all the hay that we got left, and we already sold a bunch of hay. So yeah, it just might be a good profitable business. I've heard there's a lot of money in silage, but we can't really do silage on our farm. Well, we technically could with the baler and the wrapper. We could sell those bales, but I think that's overkill. So yeah, maybe next time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna store around 100,000 liters of dry clover, and we're gonna sell off whatever we got in terms of alfalfa. But it might be better to sell it in the winter, because the price of course is higher, because the supply is very low. You know, in the middle of winter everybody wants to keep hold of their stock, because you never know what next season brings. So yeah, financially we are looking a bit better now, and I think I made the right choice to actually sell this off. And it's not even the worst price yet. The price could be a lot worse in summer. Okay, so let's see where we end up. I think for a second our bank account went down to 47,000, so we must have been billed something. Okay, so yeah, 3,000 per load. 3,000 per load, so we went from 37 to 50, that's 13 grand. I actually don't know. I'm gonna have to check in the bank account statements what the total payoff was for this. But if we'd had our own forage wagon, it would be even less. Right, so a good thing is we're almost halfway to the town. I'll return this and I'll see you when we finish up at the fuel station, because I want to see how much fuel we get for a bit more than half a fuel tank. I'm gonna take the bigger entrance just to be safe rather than sorry. Alright, so this was quite an exhausting day, I'll say, but the forage wagon was very good. I have called forward and, well, I have called ahead and told them about the scrape, and they said that it's fine. I sent them the pictures while I was still up at the farm. So yeah, the insurance is covered in the actual leasing cost. So things like these happen. But if it would be intentional, or if we would destroy equipment because of misuse, then we would have to pay some additional charges. Alright, well, let's see for how much we can fill up this beautiful Steyr. Got a fairly big tank over here. Yep, she's a thirsty girl. Half a tank cost us 380 in fuel. Awesome. Anyway, I have checked in the bank statement and we got paid 14,604 euros for selling the hay. So I think that's a pretty good deal. I will not complain about it, and it definitely helps the situation, and we are ending the day with 50,436. So yeah, this is gonna be it for today. And next time we'll probably start tackling some grass work. We're probably gonna cut and maybe get some help again to windrow everything into neat rows. In the meantime, I'm gonna check if there are any forage wagons available. Gonna check how much we can get for our old forage wagon, and then we'll see how that pans out. We might still use the old one for this season. Oh, I want ice cream. Can I park somewhere? Well, I'm gonna leave the hazards on. Gonna buy myself an ice cream. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun. And join me next time where we continue with this adventure. Tante Emma. Aunt Emma. Awesome. So what we got here? Anyway, take care and goodbye.